Sounds good. We're glad we're here too, man. You look a little grayer than the last time I saw you. You're not getting older, are you?
Well, mine used to just be a little soul patch, and it's just wandering up the side of my face, man. Oh my God. Hey, but if you can rock the white go, I can too, Eric. Right?
At least you don't look like Colonel Sanders.
No, but I've had some of his chicken.
You're such a dork. I love you, man.
It's great seeing you, Jess. It was awesome hooking up with you the other day and getting a little foundation working.
Yes.
So everybody, we are so fortunate to have this be call number 9. And this whole series just being mind-boggling, off the charts, and so much more than I think any of us may have expected. And so this whole acronym was S.M.A.R.T, S-M-A-R-T, for service. And if you think back to the beginning, we had Gino on for service, service scene, and servant's heart. And then we had Liz Medley. She did 2 calls because she was so off the charts with marketing and social marketing, and she just took all of y'all's business. I'm watching everybody starting to really up your game on your business pages, on your personal pages, and I think it's turning into some results at your businesses as well. So the marketing was off the charts. And then we had Tracy Robinson with Attitude, who is the $4,000 to $5,000 a week stylist, cancer survivor, and only missed 2.5 weeks while going through treatment. So she taught us about amazing attitudes. And then unfortunately, Larry Curtis couldn't do his call on attitude because of the rebuild at his school. So we'll hopefully get him to make it up on the back end. But now we are into the R of S.M.A.R.T, and that's retail. And with Eric and his company and salons and academy, what I know about Eric A is being an amazing artist, an amazing platform worker, an amazing communicator, and smart as hell. He really knows how to move products and give his team tips, tools, techniques, verbiage to be able to get these products off the shelf and home to our clients' bathrooms where they need them to be able to duplicate all of the looks we create. So would everybody please welcome, you guys can unmute right now, and let's all welcome Mr. Eric and Jess to the call.
Woo! Welcome.
Thank you for being here, Eric. So,
how's it going?
we have a really cool, amazing group here. We kind of got it down now. They'll probably go on mute here. Everybody will go on mute. And then you can just kind of go ahead and give them a little bit more background, where you were, how you started, and how'd you get to be freaking rock star that you are. And then we'll move into the retail convo.
Sounds cool, Oscar. I appreciate, first of all, it's a joy, pleasure to be here for my good buddy, Oscar, who you and I have known each other for a long time. And I've sat through your classes. I think you've seen a few stage shows I've done with Aquage.
Correct.
And Luis Alvarez sends his best, by the way. So
awesome.
I just talked to him this morning. So good to be here. Jess has been with our company forever. She started as an instructor, and then she, just moved up the ranks. She soon became the managing instructor. What do you call that? What's
Director of Education.
Yeah, I'm really with it today. Director of Education. And then when we started Prosper U, she took over that company and has been running it. So she's been fabulous. She knows this stuff inside and out. I started years ago as a very young guy, about 18, 19 years old. My mother was a hairdresser. And I don't know if you knew this or not, Oscar, but I used to go watch my mom cut hair when I was a kid. Yeah. She had a place called Aristocrat Hair for Men and Women. And I just marveled at my mom because she was the most pleasant, wonderful woman, and people loved her so much. And they just had such a sense of appreciation for what she would do after she did their hair. And, they would just thank her and hug her, and so much gratitude. And then they'd pay her. And I always thought that's a pretty cool model. You get all this love and this appreciation, then you get some cash for it. So my dad, on the other hand, was a chief test pilot for Boeing. He was a tough guy, big guy, tough guy. I think he was a little freaked out that I went. But there was just always a better route for me, Yeah. So he took me over to London when I was about 19 years old, said, this is a place where you want to be, a place called Vidal Sassoons. And I had no idea who Vidal was, But at any rate, I cut my teeth over there and trained hard, and I really got into it. And I decided I loved it. I just really loved it. I really enjoyed being a hairdresser and being good. And then, I freelanced around. I worked in I think I did my first shoot with Maggie Mulhern when I was in my early 20s on the Brooklyn Bridge. And then, you know, I worked all over: London, Paris, Greece, Turkey. I mean, there's not too many countries I didn't work in, doing hair for magazine shows. Modern Bride in New York. I worked in New York with Roger Thompson way back in the day. And then I was a creative director of a large company in LA for 8 years and loved it. I loved the business. So we started, I just got married. Actually, band council was in my wedding, Dwight Miller, Michael Baker. I got married.
A bunch of nobodies, huh?
A bunch of nobodies, yeah. So it was like, we were like a band, you know. And I just did the big show in Bologna. We got married in the Vatican, as a matter of fact. And
Wow.
it was a cool thing. But then I got this great job in New York. My wife was from Kansas. She did not want to move to New York, so she convinced me to go into business. She has a degree in biology, and I could not even spell P&L. So I was like the worst guy to ever open a business, right? But
what year was that when you moved from New York to Wichita? Is that when you went to Wichita?
Yeah, 1989. And actually, yeah, 88, I think. I got to think about that. So, yeah, it was a long time ago. And I didn't know a thing about business, but every Tuesday night we had training. That's what I learned. So, we're a learning organization. Education was everything. And it still is. Every Tuesday night, I've done over 1,800 Tuesday night classes.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot. I have a team of 4 educators that teach with me. And it's staff training. That's all it is.
So let me pause that for 1 second, Eric, because I coach not only this group in this group format, but several of them are one-on-one clients as well. And we've had this conversation about Tuesday at night education. I know, James Morrison, good friend of mine too, with Tony and Guy, they used to do that. That was their culture on Tuesday nights as well. So when you were starting off creating that as a culture and part of your brand, how do you get the buy-in? I mean, because I don't think it's voluntary, is it?
Well, it's not. And I think that you get the buy-in because when you have a great culture, a culture becomes self-policing. So you don't want to just have anybody working in that culture. You pick the people that are like-minded. So that's the definition of a culture, is like-minded people coming together. So everybody was there for the right reason. And everybody, we have about 150 people now, everybody goes through the apprenticeship program, everybody. And it's 18 months long. So when you do that, we don't have walkouts, we don't have a lot of discontent, we have a single focus. Everybody's got the same sense of purpose, quality, excellence, a commitment to, great customer service. Everybody's on board, but that's because we grow everybody ourselves.
So when you did your first salon, 88, 89, and it was you and how many in that first salon?
3 people. My wife was a receptionist, and then I had an assistant, and I had a colorist, and that was it. And then, but Tuesday nights we had an amazing amount of people that wanted to come train with us. So we started training, and then we hired them, and then I have 2 assistants. I trained them, and then we just got bigger. So that little salon was about 1,000 square feet. We were doing close to $2 million. We were open 7 days a week. We were double shifting, and it was absolutely fantastic. And we always had a great push towards retail products.
And you did double shifting right out the gate? Was that your philosophy?
It took us a couple years to build our people up. So we had 8 chairs initially, then we added 2 more chairs. So it was just, we were on top of each other. It was like a small little New York place. The music was loud. The place just, it was just, it was amazing for the time.
Let me pause you 1 second. Everybody, if I can get you to mute your line, please. Go up on your little icon, hit the mute button, and then we'll avoid most of that background noise so we get a clean recording. Thank you all. I appreciate that. When we come into the group conversation, we'll unmute there. Go ahead, Eric. I'm sorry. Continue, please.
Oh, well, so we just got bigger and bigger. So we decided to open another place out west across from town, and we did the same model. If you can take the variation out of the business operations and do things systematically, then you're going to have you're successful. That's all you got to do. It's like systems and structure. So we did that. And then, and that took off, and we double shifted. And again, we train all our own people. It takes 18 months. So if you come to Tuesday night class, we have people come from all over the country to watch our classes. It's it's wild. You know, it's jam-packed full of people. We start off by diagramming the haircuts or the updos or whatever we're doing. We have 4 different phases that people go through, and 4 different teachers that teach those different phases. And it's great. As the owner of the company, as the source of the company, it's my obligation to return to my team members. And education is the way that we return it. You know, and they make great livings too. You know, they all do. But the great thing is education is the lifeblood. We figured that out a long time ago. And the more you learn, the more intimate you are with what you're doing, the more you enjoy it, the more the bigger your box is. I can't say enough good things about it. Education simply is the key.
It's everything.
You know, we still do it. I've got Oscar Bond coming in here next week. We bring some badass major guy in every quarter. We have a summit. We bring 6 major people in for 3 days. So we're constantly, people get tired of it. People that are master hairdressers that have been here forever, they're like, do I have to go see another, and I tell them, yes. It's good for you. It'll spark you. It'll keep that passion alive. You know, education ignites the passion in us, and without passion in our lives or jobs, and what's the point?
Eric, my dad. I'm also second generation with 3 out of 4 kids from the industry. So he used to tell me. I remember that first week when I got on the floor out of school with my license. He said, "Son, he told me many things, but he says the day you think you know it all, this business is forever changing. If the day you think you know it all is the day you better get out of this business." Fast forward umpteen years later, he comes up to me. He goes, I'm done. I'm gonna walk away. He goes, not because I think I know it all. I'm just not willing to learn anymore. And I was like, you can't go out any better on top than that right there.
Yeah.
And that's authentic, powerful.
That's something else.
So how do we become retail rock stars?
Well, I think Bobby Pill, who was my salesman, and later on sold pills for millions and millions of dollars to L'Oreal. Bobby took me out my first day on the floor and said, "Hey, let me explain to you what really drives profits. And retail is a lot more profitable than services." So I always like products. And I remember the first time I discovered a product on my hair. And I go, oh, wow, this is great. I've got, my hair is not the best, right? It's kind of fine, kind of limp. I know I'm a very handsome guy. I look like Brad Pitt, but my hair's not good.
See what I got to deal with.
So products are like magic, and I love them. I like being the consummate guy that says, hey, by the way, you need to open up your eyes by waxing your brows or penciling them in. You need to blend your eyeliner. Yeah, blush is the kiss of the sun, not too much. You need to put this product in your hair to give you a little separation. I don't want to just be a hairdresser. I want to be their partner. I want to be the guy that can make them look beautiful. And that includes makeup. That includes hair products. That includes everything. So we have a big push for that. And we do well over probably $1.5 million in retail sales alone right now. So
in 2 salons, 3 salons?
No, in our company-wide. Our school is so amazing. We opened the school up because I was so unhappy with the level of schools. I shouldn't disparage them, but I just want
truth is truth, man.
We're having to retrain everybody once they graduate from school. I said, I want to grow my company, so the only way to do that is, so I got in the school business. Well, our school does, we're close to 60% in retail sales. It's unbelievable. We almost have $1 million salon floor in our school, and that's with services and retail. Retail's big, so we teach our students through a program we have called Prosper You how to retail, because it's so important. And we'll talk about that a little bit more. But retail's always been, such a big thing. Let me talk about our strategy right now, Oscar.
Please.
Our strategy that Jess and I really came up with. And the first thing is it's attract, maximize, and retain. So why don't you tell them a little bit about attracting, Jess?
So, attracting is, obviously you have to have clients in order to be able to even think about selling retail. If you don't have people coming in, there's no one to sell to. So that really focuses on going out and handing out business cards, like social media, like what you had talked about, all that marketing standpoint, creating a defining statement, something to separate yourself. So when you're out at a party and somebody asks you, what do? You don't just say, I'm a hairdresser. Because everybody's a hairdresser, it seems
Right,
like. So
right.
how do you separate yourself from everyone else? It's even things like getting involved in the community, finding organizations and charities, hosting your own events. It's really about creating a name and a brand for yourself.
And we do all sorts of things to prospect for clients with events. We have a BYOB event, bring your own blow dryer. We've done this for so many years. I got to tell you, we teach people how to style their hair. We're so sick and tired of doing them. I can't even get anybody to do them because we do so many. But it's like a party for a guest. And they bring in maybe 12, 15 friends.
Wow.
And we have wine and food, and we have a gift bag for them. It costs them nothing.
When do you do that?
Tuesday nights instead of class.
Okay, got it.
And sometimes because we double shift, so it's very difficult to find the time. So we know Tuesday nights we always have a Tuesday night, which is good.
Roger.
So attracting is very important to us. And then we want to maximize the benefit once the client gets there. So we look at raising our prices. So we have 12 different price levels. So when can we raise our price to maximize, the amount of potential for the stylists? When do they get a raise? They get a raise by raising their prices, obviously. We look at how do we build on that average ticket. So we're really driven by that average ticket. So if a haircut's, $50 or $40, we want our average ticket to be twice that. So average ticket is big, and then retail falls out of that, doesn't it, Jess?
Definitely. Obviously that's a huge way to gain income. And we'll talk a little bit about all the different things that retail can do for you, but it's huge. It's something that your clients want, whether you feel comfortable with it or not. You're going to have to get comfortable with it. You have to remember that they're out there as a walking billboard for you. So if you're not selling them retail, if you're not educating them on retail, you've got a bad brand out there. So, if you have a client who's out and about and they don't look good and somebody asks them who does your hair and they say you, they're probably saying, I never want to go see that person. Look at how they look.
I say people ask where you get your hair done for two reasons. Like, oh my God, I can't wait to go there, or thank you. Thank you.
Exactly. So you have to give them the tools, not only the knowledge, but the actual tools, the products, the brushes, the blow dryers, in order to recreate that same look.
And I'll tell you, we build it into our compensation system. So one of the things that we do is every quarter, and I'm getting off base here, but I wanted to explain this.
This is free fall, baby.
Cool, baby. We have an awards night, and it could be a wine tasting. We spend a lot of money. It's food, it's liquor, and then operations, marketing, human resources. Everybody gets up and speaks. And then we go through retail sales. So what we want is we have certain metrics that we look for, certain measurables, $8 per client on the average. We want at least 30% of our clients buying products, okay? So we go through that. So if you don't hit that mark, not only is your retail check lower, but you also get a performance bonus between 1% and 4%. And that affects your performance bonus, which is a big deal too. So our whole company, it's a non-negotiable. We're driven by retail because we know it's the most profitable part of the business. We'll talk about that in a little bit. The last thing we do is we want to retain those clients. So attract, maximize, retain. We think good locations. How do we maximize the experience for the customer so they have such an amazing time that they want to tell all their friends, and it's great. And we also think about what else do we think about with retention?
It's really about doing all those little things. So everything from thank you cards, reminder calls, going and visiting a client if they're in the hospital, walking them to a car with an umbrella if it's raining. Maybe you have to go to their house to do their hair. It's every single thing that you do that really goes above and beyond for your guest.
Yeah, those little postcards that you write, just those things. And everybody, again, once everybody understands the culture, then everybody gets the buy-in. That's why we never had a walkout, hardly ever. If I lose people, it's because they move, and they do move because we're in Wichita, Kansas. They want to go to a big city. But
Eric, prior to you opening your academy, and I'm going to go left here a little bit.
Yeah.
When you would hire people, and you're telling them about the culture, and you're still a smallish company. You haven't blown up to maybe your 3 salons yet. So you're in the process of your growth and you're interviewing. What did the interview process look like for you to know? Because my dad used to say when somebody would come in for an interview, he goes, well, that's the best they're ever going to look. So like one interview, we started to do multiple interviews so we could kind of see the variance of who they might be over a period of time.
Yeah. That's a great question.
How did you find out that you had players before?
Well, that's a great question. First of all, nothing's more important than the culture you have and the people you surround yourself with. So you've got to be obsessed with the right fit. And I always was from the very beginning. Now we're very sophisticated. We have an HR department. We test. They have, they go through this rigmarole. I don't even see them. I don't even know who we hire, because everybody does it for me. But back in the early days, would invite them to class. Did they watch? Did they participate? Smile on their face. Were they talkers? Were they, because we always say train for talent, hire for attitude.
Correct.
They, talking poorly about where they worked before, what they did. Are they willing to come to class and not miss? Asking the right questions is really important. There's a couple great books I like. One's Fierce Conversations by Susan Scott.
Yes.
And, she's got some great guidelines on hiring, but just being obsessed. If you drop a phone on purpose, do they pick it up? What are they going to do? Are they going to sit and just blah, 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 or are they going to participate? And I know they're a little intimidated, and then we'll take them out for a cup of coffee or a drink after class. Let's stay with class the whole time, then come hang out with us. Then they meet the managers or the manager and see if they like them and they connect and blah, blah, blah. And then, it's as they say, hire slow, fire fast.
Yeah.
And, do we always get the right fit? No. We've had people go through an 18-month class and say, you know what, I don't want to work this hard. This isn't for me. I'm going to go someplace else. And that happens. So, but we know that the ones that we keep and they go through our program, we know we got good hairdressers and we got good communicators. We got people that are unconditionally committed to legendary customer service and to serving the client. Because I tell them, I'm not the boss, I'm the bus. I'm the bus that can take you where you want to go, but the client ultimately is the boss. They call the shots. You got to come early. You got to stay late. You got to go beyond the call of duty for them. If you don't intrinsically understand that you're in the service business, then that's not a good fit for us,
That was lesson number 2. First week on the floor from Dad. Son, you are now in the service business, and if you're not there to serve your guests, somebody else will be. And he said, and I'm right here. I will snatch a client out from under your feet so quick. You won't know what happened to you. Serve your guests or go home.
Hey, when I was an assistant, when I graduated from school, I had a girlfriend of mine whose dad taught the Dale Carnegie course. And I said, any advice before I go to work? He said, what are the hours? He said, 9 to 5. He said, we'll get there at 8 and leave at 6 and work through lunch and don't ask for a raise and demonstrate the kind of behavior you want to see in successful people.
Wow.
He said, work your ass off. He said, if you do that, you're going to ascend to the top. You are going to be really, really great. And what are your responsibilities? I said, I shampoo, I blow dry, customer service, clean the place. He said, well, give them the best shampoo they've ever had in their life. Give them the best blow dry they've ever had in their life. Don't just do it good, do it great. If you can't do it, learn how to be better. And walk those little old ladies out to the car, call to make sure they made it home on a snowy day. And he was an amazing guy. And I learned so much because, I became a very good hair cutter at a young age.
Correct.
And for a long time, I thought it was about me and not about the customer. You go through periods where you're very humble, you've got a great deal of humility. All of a sudden you realize, hey, I'm a badass. I'm Eric Fisher. So I went through that phase, and now I'm in the really humble phase, and we're all about the guests. And that's where your head has to be. If you really want to enjoy your life, you got to be about other people, not about yourself.
I tell your story all the time prior to your academy, how you would call the school and say, send me your people. And they're like, why? You're like, because I'm Eric Fisher.
Well, I think, in this business, a lot of people tell you why I just want to cut hair. And I don't want to know about the soft skills. I don't know about the business skills. And that's always tough because I don't blame them. But the picture that we have is much larger, as you know, Oscar. Yeah. And I always think of, you got to use both sides of your brain. You look at Picasso, who was a great, left brainer, but he was also a great right brainer. He made a lot of money, died a multimillionaire. Then you look at a guy like Van Gogh, equally as talented, amazing artist, but Van Gogh never sold a painting. He didn't know how to market. He didn't know how to reach out. He was a great technician, but you got to have that whole picture. You got to have both sides of those brains. You really want to make money, and more money. Money's important. It's like breathing. Without it, you don't have a business. But more important than the money is that knowing that you've got that sense of purpose, that you love what you're doing. You go to work every day because you want to be there, not because you have to be there. That's the key, and I love that. And part of that is loving your clients and having that relationship with them, and nothing is better than that to me.
Wow. So Jess, how long has it been since you've been behind the chair full time?
I've been with Eric 8 years now, so 8 years.
Oh, you're still behind the chair currently?
No, it's been 8 years since I've been behind the chair full time. Okay. I still do hair some.
Okay.
But very sporadically.
Once a hairdresser, always a hairdresser.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I haven't been behind the chair in 11 years, and I've still got my hands in hair. So.
Right. Yeah. I don't work at a salon anymore, but I still do hair.
And so do you know, like, the numbers of the company as far as average retail ticket? I know you aspire to $8. Many of the people here know me from previous company, and they've all been through the camp before, so they know those statistics as far as the top 1% in the industry is a $22 average retail, top 10% is 11, average is 350, and above average is like the 750 range or whatever. Do you know where you guys stand as a company, average service ticket, average retail ticket?
She probably doesn't know the salon side of it.
Okay.
But we're, we have people that do $27, $28 average retail. And we have people that do $6 and $7. With as many people as we have, our average is probably around $11.
Okay.
And
about 10.
Yeah, I would say it's about that. I'd have to revisit that. I should know that, but I would say about $11. But I know that we go through a lot of product. Like I said, our retail is great. Their bonuses are subject to retail sales, and we pay them out the retail every quarter as opposed to every paycheck, which really helps them to see. We have a big emphasis on retail. We also do a customer appreciation where this is one of the best things we do. We did close to $30,000 in our last customer appreciation retail sales alone. That is 20% off on products, double stamps on your reward card. We have our vendors here. We have free prizes. We have food. It's a great thing. We do them maybe 3 or 4 times a year, and they always my East Salon. We can do $18,000 in retail just out of that. So it's an amazing event for us.
Awesome.
Everybody's on board with it.
We have Tracy. Tracy, if you want to unmute yourself, we have a hand raised, as you can see the little icon.
Hi, thanks. What would be the benefits of paying quarterly? I have 2 questions. That's the first one.
Well, the benefit of paying quarterly is that it's kind of like your tips. When you get tips all the time, you don't really know how much you're getting. I mean, you should obviously report to the IRS, but when all of a sudden, it's a quarter and you get a check for $2,400 or $3,300 and everybody sees that, that's pretty motivating to want to sell retail as opposed to just getting it. Makes it very public, and we go through the numbers. I don't go through everybody because we have too many people, but we'll go through maybe the top 20%, and those bonuses are amazing, and people are very motivated by them. They get the check all at one time, so it can pay the rent. It can do a lot.
And what percentage commission are you giving them?
Well, it varies, and the commission goes from if they do under, let's say, $8, then they get a 10% commission. If they do over $8 to, I think it's to $19, I think they get 15%. Over that, they get 18%. And then when they get their quarterly performance bonus, they get between 1 and 4% of their gross for performance bonus. And if they hit the retail numbers, if they don't hit the retail numbers, they lose up to 25% of that. So they can make a lot more money on their performance bonus by hitting their retail numbers.
Are you paying $8 average ticket?
Yeah, $8 per client average ticket. We like the average ticket better. We also look at what percentage of clients are buying. So if you only have, let's say, 10 or 15% of your clients are buying product, then you're not even trying. You're not even in the game.
Wow.
So, my Derby salon, we only have around 30% of the clients buying. East as high as 48% of the clients buying products, and our school, it's amazing because we have a market here. So we sell jewelry, shoes, purses, tons of products. It's very cool.
Okay.
Wow.
And so I just have one more quick question, kind of go back to what I said before. Whenever you have the Tuesday classes, do you pay them to attend education? Like, is it mandatory, or do they do, or it's just free?
Everybody would work would come to the class anyway because everybody wants younger people want the education. It's compulsory for anybody that's been with the company under, let's say, 2.5 years to attend. And then they have to teach once they graduate. So yeah, I was sued because I did not pay them, and we settled out of court, so now we pay them. This was some time ago.
And so that's a minimum wage hourly for those couple hours or whatever?
It's whatever their balance is. We just look at whatever their average hour is. And
you pay them based on what they actually produce when they are working. Is
So
that the law, or is that an option?
I think it's an option. We could probably pay a minimum, but just for bookkeeping reasons, we have a payroll service. I think it's just a little easier to do it that way. So class is a minimum of 3 hours. Now, we have look and learns all the time. This is where we bring somebody in that's real famous. So for the advanced hairdressers, we do not pay them. That is not mandatory. That is optional. We also have a summit that's a 3-day-long program where we bring in the best of the best of the best, and that again is so we do a big show and then we do workshops, and that is not compulsory. It's just highly recommended. But with
the job dangling from the screen. So that was amazing, Eric. I don't know, I've been around for at least 20 minutes in this industry, and I've not heard too many people play the compensation game based on average ticket versus the sliding scale. Sell $500 and get this, sell 1,000, get that, etc. I love that. I love that.
Thank you.
Have you been doing that all along, or did that evolve?
No, we've done it all along since we opened. I used to write a newsletter for Jody Byrne, and she sent me down to Houston to look at visible changes, and I wrote a story about them. And in 1987, John, I'm trying to think of his last name, I can't think of it, but he won Inc. Entrepreneur of the Year, and he had all these salons, and he had a system very similar. So I just really borrowed his system, made some tweaks. And it's hard to make money in this business. I mean, salons go out of business all the time. So everybody wants a bigger piece of the pie. The problem is the pie's not big enough. So, what I want to do is make the pie bigger. So that's why we have 12 different levels. We base it on demand. If you're hitting your key benchmarks, your measurables, you're pre-booking, you're doing everything that you should be doing, and you're booked up, that demand goes up, then you go up on your prices. And guess what? You get a raise. And that's a beautiful thing. So we offer health care, 50% of health care, 2-week paid vacation, 4 paid holidays. We have a simple IRA. We match 3% of up to 3% up to $8,000, and we've had those almost since inception.
Wow!
I wanted great benefits for my company, but I know that the only way that they can make a great living, have great benefits, is if they produce 100% of the time. You can't have people that are not busy because it costs you too much money. So we need to keep our staff productive. So productivity is really important to me. So
we have the variety of salon groups here in this group. So we have some smaller ones, 5, 6, 7 chairs. We have a 20-something chair. We have a booth rental situation, and then a couple independents. Let's start with, let's say we're a smaller salon. We have some young kids coming up that are just, hell, I'm going to say it. The millennials are a challenge right now for most companies. And so what's the verbiage? How do we speak to their listening to get them on par with retail? And what are some of your coaching tools and techniques that you use to really bring people forth with the retail? Great
question. I think, first of all, you got to get the buy-in, from them. You got to hire the right people. So we want good manners. We want people with good conversational guidelines. We want nice, friendly. We don't really care about the technical skills because we know we can teach them. Then we explain to them that people that buy product are more loyal, okay? They are a lot more loyal. They're going to come back more often. People that buy products want to look better. You're going to make them look better. We know it's the bond between appointments. So we explain the reason for retail and for products, and that products make people look good. And then they see how we demonstrate our systems, our structure, like when we use a product. And we always say, Oscar, you got the front of the house, you got the back of the house. The front of the house is the retail store. So if you want the buy-in from, that new millennial, you better damn well look like Zara or H&M, and it better look great, because if you got 3 products over there and they've got dust on them, and Forget it. You know, you're not going to get the buy-in from that millennial. They're smart. They're clever. So you got to look like you're in the business for retail to begin with. So that's the front of the house, seasonal displays, best products at eye level. Why We Buy, by the way, by Paco Underhill, is a great book. I'd highly recommend it to anybody. I'm sure you've read it several times. It's super good.
Could you tell them again by Paco who?
Underhill.
Underhill.
I think Underhill, Underwood or something. You remember, Jess?
I don't remember.
I can't remember either, but you've got to look like you're in the business. Then you got the back of the house. And Jess, tell them what the back of the house is like.
So the back of the house is really all about you. It's where you're actually using the products. You're talking about the products. You know, when you use a product on a client, you always want to hand it to them. You want to get their buy-in so they can smell it, they can feel it, they can read the bottle, they can, you know, create that bond with that product, and they actually get to see what the results are. They get to see what happens when you use that product. And, you know, I think one of the biggest disconnects, not only for millennials, but for others, is that you personally don't use the products that you're selling at your salon. You're using something else. You think, I don't like this line. The salon carries it, so I'm going to have to use it. And, you know, that can really hurt your retail sales. That's going to prevent you from selling because you don't like it. You don't have your own personal buy-in. So then you're not going to get the buy-in of the guest.
And we have that trouble with our students, and we just tell them, you know, we have 160 students. Mm-hmm. You've got to use our products here. They're the best. And not to sidebar, but also, you know, you don't just sell products for the money. Although, while I'm right here with you right now, I guarantee you I've probably sold at least $100 worth of retail, not even being there. It's like an annuity. Sell it once and people keep on buying it, but it's all those other reasons why, you know, you want your client to use only your products. You know, ask a new client what brush they use, and they'll get in their purse and they'll pull out some, you know, something that looks like it's been used on an animal. You know, you're like, you can't do your hair with this. You want to look good. Why are we in the beauty business? So you want to be able to not control it, but definitely make an impression on the right products that they've got to use, period. And there's so many other reasons to retail. That's why you got to get these people on board. You got to demonstrate the kind of behavior that you want to see in them. So when you have a product, you put it on the client. You have 4 opportunities: shampoo, conditioning, right? You've got styling when the hair is wet. You've got texturizing when the hair is dry. And then you've got finishing products 4 times. And the strategy is, you know, what are you using? Where are you using it? How are you using it? Then you've got to get excited about the product. Oh, wow, I've got this great new product. Are you going to love this? If you're not enthusiastic, they're not going to be enthusiastic.
Correct.
And we always say,
what are your verbiage words? I know that you have a little few in your basket of tricks that you use to educate the guest on how to.
Well, that's what we do. If I'm doing Jess's hair, first of all, I'm going to do a testimonial. I'm going to say, Jess, you know, I got this great new texturizing product by Aquage. It's called Paste. It's very cool. Let me show you how to do it. First of all, you want your hair completely dry. I'm going to take just a palm size, just a pea size, put it in my palm, and I really want you to emulsify. See this? Mm-hmm. See how I'm doing this? I'm really emulsify it. Now, when you put it in, I want you to put it in from your scalp all the way to your ends. Just go back and forth, back and forth. You really got to move it in, and then take your blow dryer and move it. This will give you that second day hair, that texturized look that's so in vogue today. I love this product. We sell more of this product. I think you're going to love it. And that's it. So what are you using? Where are you using it? How do you use it? Get them excited. Tell them what you love about it. And then when you're done, don't just forget about it. And this is really something, Oscar, I don't know why people don't do this. I think because we're afraid to hear the word no. You got this love stream happening, right? You know, the client loves you because you just did their hair. You love them because they love their hair, right? So you don't want to hear the word no. So what we teach our students and our staff, take those products that you use, put them on the guest service. Hey, I've rebooked you, hug, kisses, thank you very much. Never, ever, ever ask for the sale. Now, that's our philosophy, and it works for us, and walk away. And it's up to the client. They can buy the product, but they don't have to.
So they just leave them on the counter as they
leave them on the counter. Yeah, these are the products I used on you. In my professional opinion, these are the best ones for you. Hey, thank you, Jess, for coming in. Good to see you. I will see you again. We've already pre-booked you for about 5 weeks. So have any challenges with any of the products or anything, just call me and I'll take care of you within 48 hours. That's a little guarantee.
So then, go ahead. So then the guest services are the people, or your front desk, they're the ones who would actually close the sale. They would say, which of these products do you want to take home today? You know, and maybe even providing more education as to what the products do, if the guest has questions that they didn't get a chance to ask the stylist. But yeah, I mean, especially for those young students here at the school, they're already nervous, they're already timid, and probably for those students who are just starting out at your salons, those, you know, first-time stylists, they're just as scared as you know, a student in a school, especially depending on the type of school they went to. So they don't want to hear the word no either.
And Oscar, it's got to be a cultural initiative. Everybody's going to be on the same bandwagon. When you have promotions, you have specials, you need to have meetings talking about that. When you have compensation or whatever it happens to be, like when we've got the Power Enthusiums, which retail for $28, or spray from great conditioner from Aquage. You know what? I perked everybody $5 each for every one they sold, and the clients got a 20% discount. Now that was a loss leader for me. But guess what? I handed out thousands of dollars in cash, thousands of dollars, and not only that, but clients bought them. They loved it. Now it sells itself.
Well, and now that many more products are out there amongst the people.
Absolutely.
Right.
You know, if you can get them to use the products, they're gonna love them if you have a good product line. And by the way, and let me tell you this, and to all your friends, and I might offend somebody, don't sell a line that's diverted. Don't sell a line that you can find in a grocery store. You know, if it's at Barney's, that's one thing. But don't sell it if it's you know it's been diverted. That's just costing you money, and you don't want to use products that cheapen the image like that, cheapen the industry like that anyway. You know.
Awesome. Tracy has her hand up. I'm going to come to you real quick in a minute, Tracy, but I'm going to speak about Elisa real quick. Elisa, our little Canadian up there, she's on my screen on the top left corner. She's one of my coaching clients also, and in our coaching call last week, we were talking about retail, and she's blowing up her business. I mean, she just sent me a little amazing testimonial that she did a little evaluation of her business a while back, pre-Oscar, as she called it, and then post-Oscar. Her service sales are up over 20%. Her retail's up 272%. Is that what you said?
Wow.
I love that. That's great.
Elisa, you can unmute for a second. But she's a one-person show getting ready to blow out her wall and build out for an addition. But we were having this conversation, I've had it with a couple people on the call too, about really just creating craziness from nowhere as far as retail and packaging it on top of a new client's first service. Mm-hmm. So if we take ourselves out of our industry and we think about places we go, sometimes that first visit is an expensive one because it's your first time there and they're getting you up to par for whatever. And then it becomes a little bit less because now it's a maintenance thing. So if we just got crazy in our thought process about having a new client, especially like a corrective color is what we were talking about. Yes, I can fix that. And part of the packages in your price is you're going to also get these 5 products, and it's going to jump your price slightly, but I won't do it otherwise. This is my guarantee that you're going home with what you need. And then as you continue to come back, it's just a maintenance as to what products you need refilled. But as a first time, and we're like, she's blown away by it. Like, oh my God, I can't wait to try that.
I think that's a good model, and I've heard about it. I've considered it. You know, subject to what the service is. Yeah. And you just build the price of the products into the program, into the service. So
there is definitely not a no then.
Right.
That's what's up.
And what I would say to that is that everything has to reflect the quality of that high price. I mean, your place, the build out's got to be good, the location's got to be good, the service provider's got to be amazing, the experience that the client goes through needs to be transcending. And then I think you can charge anything you want. I mean, I worked in New York. I charged $150 a haircut, and it was very cool. This is a long time ago. I mean, it was very cool. The service was great. You know, they had a doorman. They had people taking your jacket and all that. Of course, we don't do that. I'm in Wichita, Kansas. But if you can, and what we do is every client that comes in, every new client gets a new client bag. And I think we probably spend, $100,000 a year on these bags. And every bag has a 2-ounce product in it for that particular client. They need shampoo, they need gel, they need hairspray, whatever it is that we think they could benefit most from. And in that, they get a new client comment card. How are we doing? Plus, we follow up with SurveyMonkey as well. So we make sure we monitor how well we're doing. But we make sure that new client bag is really great, and we have bounce back coupons in there. And oftentimes, if it's a new stylist and a new client, we'll give them a couple of blowouts for free. So they can come back and really experience a good blowout, because blowout bars are really big. Retention's the hardest thing of all, and I think you people know that. It's very, very, very difficult. People move, they die, they don't like you, they're hair hoppers, variety of reasons. So if you can get them to come back at least 2 or 3 times, your chances of retention go up significantly.
Yeah.
But that's our goal with that. So the new client bag is just to bring them back, and they get.
And that cost you per bag roughly out of your pocket?
75 or 100,000 a year, probably.
No, per bag.
You know what? I don't know what the per bag copy. The bag itself is 20 cents. It's a brown paper bag. All the printed materials in there. The 2-ounce product in there. Of course, I work for Aquash, so I do shows for them. So I trade out with products a lot.
So are you giving them of everything that you used on their hair, or just one?
No, just one.
Just one.
But
Okay.
sometimes two.
Okay.
And we also use those products. Let's say if somebody had we learned this from Whole Foods. They had a special event, or they had something that was really sad or something. Then we can take a 2-ounce product and give it to them. Just say, hey, I want to give you this as a gift. And we go through cases of those. And that also, by the way, they use the product. And I met Jimmy John, by the way. I'm going to vary from this story. I met Jimmy John a long time ago. Jimmy John's a billionaire. And the way that
the sandwich dude?
The sandwich dude. He's a multi-billionaire. He's in his 50s. And the way that Jimmy John made all this money, because he opened the sandwich shop and nobody came. First day, second day, third day. The fourth day, he cut up little samples and he handed them out. That's how he made his money, by sampling. And you can do the same thing. That's what we do with our 2-ounce products. We give them out. They drink the Kool-Aid. They love the product. Wow, I love that uplifting foam. It was great. And I want the real size now. I want the big size. So that's why we do that, and it works.
Tracy, you had a question, my dear, if you would like to unmute.
Okay, sorry for being question hog. I love it. When you mentioned that the stylist, sorry.
It's all
When you
right.
mentioned the stylist brings the retail up to them, and the front end associate receptionist closes it. How do you pay the receptionist?
Well, first of all, if you did not say anything about products, they're going to follow up and they're going to say, did Eric recommend any products for you today? And by the way, we have these on sales. Do you know about our promotions? So they are really working the retail deal all the time, okay? And they might do it for pre-booking too. Did Eric say when he'd like to see you the next time? And most of my people are really good about that, but they've got to support that activity, period. If they're not supporting it, then they don't have a job. And they have to cross-sell on the phone too, by the way. They have non-negotiables themselves. That's a whole nother webinar, but the front desk or guest service is really important. So if they brought the 3 products up there and then they put them on the desk, she might ask, do you want to purchase any of these today? If they don't say, usually they'll say, well, I'll take this one or I'll take that one. Usually they don't buy all 3. Sometimes they do. But they usually will always buy 1 and sometimes 2. And then the guest service girl just follows up. Which one of these products would you like today? And but usually they already know because and I haven't witnessed it in a long time, but it's a great way to do it. And to me, it's the only way to do it. You're selling, but you're not really hardcore selling. And then everybody supports it. Or guest service might go, oh, I love that mousse. That's what I use in my hair. You'll love that. Yeah. Or if it's an eyeshadow, oh, I love that eyeshadow. I've got it on right now. Look at my eyes. So they just kind of.
You don't give extra the front end for commission on that or anything then, right?
No, I bonus all the front end every quarter like I bonus everybody else. And their bonus is key benchmarks: attendance, compliance, customer complaints, retail sales. Saturday, there's 13 Saturdays, 13 Sundays in a quarter. If you miss more than 2 of them, it kicks your ass, So I'm, it's all regulated.
That's awesome.
Good question.
Anybody else have some questions? Here's your opportunity, y'all. Oh, you guys, come on now. So, Christine. I can't hear you, Christine.
I don't know if you remember me. I was at 6 academies. I taught with the Quaj for a couple of them. But
yeah, hi, how are you?
You are literally.
So Eric, first of all, Eric, this woman is a stalker of you. She's been asking for this date when you're on. She even did her hair and makeup today.
You are so cute.
I must say, all of the times I went to the Quaj Academies, my favorite time was your business course. I wish that you just had Academy of Business course. I would sign up in a heartbeat.
You are so sweet. Thank you.
But my question is, I feel the same exact way you did, where there's the people who come into my salon out of school don't even know how to blow dry. So I'm so interested in getting like a training program in order, but it's so overwhelming that it's hard to sit down and start.
Get a coach.
I have that. I have my 24-hour coach.
Well, you know, we always say nothing gets done until it gets put on a calendar. And Oscar's the best coach I know. And when I say that, I really mean it. He's an amazing guy, he's a smart guy. We have a company called Prosper You that we go to beauty schools and we teach etiquette, chairside manner. We teach blow drying. We teach key benchmarking. I've tried to get Oscar to come work with me and open up some beauty schools with me. So we're still in dialogue about that. But it is difficult, and it's systems and structure get you where you want to go. First of all, you got to start with the end in mind, just like setting a goal. You know, you got to think, what do you want this to look like? You want the newbie to be able to style hair, sell products, rebook the customer, do all those things. So you got to write it down. Then you need a system for every one of those. You got to have structure with it. And then you think, but you've got to define the end first of what you really want. It's like setting a goal. People that set goals, we are big on setting goals. And we don't just say, well, I want to be booked up a year ahead. We don't say that. We say, I'm booked up a year ahead. We start with that end. And that really helps us to identify, you know, the steps that it takes to get where you need to go. And it is hard, you know, and we just came out with a program called Style with Knowledge. And it has 42 videos on how to teach kids how to blow hair dry because the kids don't know how to do it. It took 2 years. We have 3 full-time videographers here in my company. All we do is do content for beauty schools. And it is tough because these kids don't know how to finish hair, you know. And it's like riding a bike. You know, you can't just learn to ride a bike by watching YouTube. You got to get on the damn bike. You got to fall off the bike, scrape your knees up, and get back on the bike and keep going, right? And that's like blow drying. So our finishes at our school are as good as any salon in the United States of America. And the reason they are so good is we teach Style with Knowledge. We identified the problem. We came up with a solution. And is it easy? No, you know, it's not easy. But there's certain things that you got to do, steps that you got to take to get. And it just depends on how important it is to you. There's so many things that need attention, you know.
Well, I think what's so amazing about you, Eric, and what you're saying right now, it's your obsession with excellence. And you know, in my team building workshops that I do, I teach this concept called "When is it good enough?" And we, on our last call, we kind of flashed on that for a few minutes with all of us as salon industry people, whether we're owners, workers, etc. Whatever we're doing, when do we quit with that client? When it's good or when it's great? When it's average or when it's excellent? And then we have to like really educate the young ones to even have a standard of excellence. Because my experience in the world anymore, thank God for people like you with obsession on excellence and insane customer service, is I know for me personally, I'll speak my truth, and that's another terminology I use in my team building, speak your truth. My truth is we as a world have lowered our standards so much that we get fired up with average. Like, whoa, that was mediocre, yes.
Yeah.
And what the hell happened, man? Because we can't even find excellence anymore, that we don't even search it, so we get okay with good. And that's not okay with me. And so I love how, what can we do to really enhance and grow that philosophy?
Well, you know, that's a great question. And I think because, for one thing, people, it's all about connection. Like when you and I were kids, we connected, hey, man, what's happening, brother? We talked, we looked each other in the eyes. You don't have that. The community today, and the connectivity today is on social media. And my son does it, Snapchat all the time. And I have to teach him, you know, by the way, when you meet somebody, my son's a big kid. I said, lean forward, put your hand out, look them in the eyes, mention their name, and shake their hands with 2 good, strong pumps. That's what we teach at Prosper You. It's going back to the old-fashioned stuff. So I think what really an owner, a leader needs to identify are those things that we call core values. You know, what's that commitment to excellence? You know, what is legendary customer service? What is authenticity, looking your best, acting your best? You know, what are those things? And then what are the strategies? Like one of our core values, for instance, is fun. We want to have fun in all the companies. So we have a great time. Like at our quarterly awards, no bitching can take place. It's all celebration.
Love it.
drink, we eat, we get drunk, we have fun, and then we go operation. I mean, it's a big meeting. We cover really important things. Here are our numbers. Here's where we need to go. Here's our celebrations. Here are our retail promotions. But you've got to identify those things that are really important to you. The core values are the things that are most important to you as a person. You can have personal core values, or you can have, business core values. And then what's the strategy? So for fun, 70s days, theme-based days, potluck lunches, let's dress up in grill outfits. Let's wear red lipstick. Let's have wig day. What does that look like? That strategy to get you where you want to go, because that's what builds a good culture. And it is hard with kids. And we've all heard that instant gratification. And, my son plays basketball, and he's a very talented kid. But I never tell him, you are so talented at basketball. I tell him all your effort, all your hard work is paying off. And that's the difference, is I don't want to praise him on his natural talent. You're so smart. I'm reading a good book right now called, I can't think of the name of it now. But anyway, it just says that part of the problem is, somebody tells you you're beautiful, you're great, then you grow up and you're not beautiful, you're not great, you're so intelligent, you're so smart, then you grow up and you're not that smart. You're the best artist I've ever seen, you're such a great artist, and you grow up and you're not a good artist, So it kicks you in the ass, it hurts your self-esteem, and what it does is it really emasculates your own self-worth. And you don't want to do that, that's why it's good to not to always praise so much. And I mean, you got to look at the good, not the bad. Focus in on the good things in life and not the bad things. And we always tell our people, be positive, not negative. And we say before you get out of bed every day, think about the kind of person you want to be, the kind of day you want to have. Be a possibility thinker about the things in your career that are possible for you. And then we visualize. We are strong visualizers. We think it's really important that a culture is one that can think about where they want to be and what they want to do. If somebody comes up to me and says, I can't wait, I want to move to New York and be famous, I'm not going to say, you can't do that, you're a big part of my company. I'm going to say, here's $1,000 and a pat on the back. Let me help you get a job there. So you've got to help make dreams come true as a leader, as a source in your company.
We got a question here from the chat area, Eric. It says, what is your standard for employee discount for products? And that's from Jana.
We probably lose money on that because I'm really good about it. So it's cost, whatever cost is, and that doesn't include rent for the space. It doesn't include shrinkage. It doesn't include back bar use. It's whatever cost is. I want my people to use my products, so I highly encourage them. And by the way, getting your hair colored and done at my place and buying products. If I go through and I see there's no product purchases in a quarter for one of my employees, whether it's guest services, assistants, or stylists, or estheticians, massage therapists, then we have a talk with them. Why aren't you buying products? So I insist. It's one of my non-negotiables. You got to buy your products from me. So I got to look at every quarter. I look at a readout, and that's very important.
So you're at cost for all wet lines as well as color, etc.
Color is a different story. So if somebody's getting the color and they're using it on a friend or family, because some months we can have 200 people doing friends and family, that's a lot. So we charge $12 for a tube of color, and that includes, the shampoo and the electricity to blow dry, basically. So that's $12.
Gotcha. Terry McDonald has a comment, I guess. I have a theory about customer service that is that employees treat customers and clients the way that management treats them. Woo!
Yeah, that's almost right. And I would agree with that. Management always has that right to coach. And 1 minute, we call it, Ken Blanchard's 1 minute manager. Tell me, show me, watch me, coach me, praise or redirect me. And you're not going to do that with a client, okay? You're not going to admonish a client or warn a client. You're just not going to do that. So, but I agree. We treat our people really well. But the other day, I'm at guest services, my east or west east location, and one of the girls comes in and she's really late. And I go, wow, your client's waiting, you're really late. And you know what she said? Well, you're in a bad mood today. And I go, no, I'm in a great mood. In a great mood, but you're like 15 minutes late. Now, if you had a flat tire or whatever, but I don't like that. I'm always, I'm 10 minutes early. I'm never late. So
Amen.
that's kind of the way that I think, and they know that. And maybe she had a good excuse, and we track that, by the way, too. If you're late a bunch, guess what? Guess it hurts your quarterly bonus. So quarterly bonuses are not to penalize you. They're to reward good behavior. So understand that. But I definitely think you got to treat your clients great. Some clients take advantage of you. You got all sorts of different type of clients. You got nice ones. You got some that are not so nice. When we have bad clients, we get rid of them. I don't let any clients torture my people, period. That's a non-negotiable with me. And we send them a card, a letter, I'll call them, or my GM will call them, and we get rid of them. We don't want them, It's all right.
Can I ask what that conversation sounds like?
Yeah, we've actually got a written letter, but I'll say, hey, I don't do this anymore, but you've been going to Jess for a long time, and unfortunately we can't satisfy you. So we're going to recommend that you go to, Mary Ann. She's at the Bella Salon, and she does a great job for what you're looking for. We always make a recommendation. For what you're looking for, I think should be quite suited to your needs. And a lot of the times they're taken back. Well, I'm sorry. You've had your color done 6 times this year, and you've had 6 free colors. You're never happy with them. So I think that there's a problem here. And obviously, we're looking at, or you've missed 75% of your appointments. If you're not willing to give us a credit card, then we can't do business with you anymore. But give us a credit card, and we just charge it, and we're fine. It's no problem. We'll just charge it when
we train them how to treat us. That is for sure.
Yeah, you got to train the client, and we're seeing, like I said, I think around 14,000 services a month. When you see that many people, are you going to have problems? Absolutely. You're going to have challenges? Absolutely. But the way we feel about it, the client is always right, period. Even when they're wrong, they're right. So, one of the reasons why we're so busy is because whatever the client wants. I had one in here. She said she had a bad haircut on Saturday. I looked at her haircut. The student did it. It was really not a bad haircut. And guess what? I recut it myself for free. And I didn't take very much off because it was such a good haircut. But in her eyes, it was bad. Did I try to defend the situation? Absolutely not. I said, well, let's work this, because you're going to do it yourself. She was really, impressed that I took the initiative. So I turned her into a raving fan, It was a free service, but I did it myself. I didn't have another student do it, So you do whatever it takes to make the client happy, period. End of story. Unless they're taking advantage of you, and that's a different story.
Okay, great. Donna, you can unmute and ask your question if you would like. You see your little icon there?
What is it?
I'll unmute you. Okay, there you go, Donna. Go ahead and speak.
Okay, hi. I just wanted to know where or what you'd recommend for people to get training to educate to be an editorial stylist and or to compete in NAHA, where they'd find the help, the team, and the education.
Well, those are 2 great questions. I love that. I was a freelance hairdresser for a long time and just loved it. I never went to work a day in my life when I did that. It was always fun. I enjoyed it. I started and I didn't cut or color. All I did was do hairdressing. So I worked in Greece and all over and loved it. I got lucky. I was doing a makeup job actually in Hawaii for another job, and then these Greeks saw me and they said, hey, can you do hair too? They flew me over to Athens. I started working over there, and one thing led to another. It always connects, but basically you learn how to style hair, you learn how to do basic makeup. If you look at the styles today, they're not that great. They're just very editorial, very soft. There's nothing magical. It's not that you couldn't do it or anybody else couldn't do it. You just got to get a feel for it. You got to learn to back home really well. NAHA is a different, and I'm really proud of my school. Every year that we've had the school, 10 years, we've had somebody, 1 or 2 or 3 people in NAHA. We've won it several times. So for my students, I'm really proud. Most people spend between $5,000 and $10,000 on a shoot with NAHA. Some use these amazing photographers. We do everything in-house. I spend $150 on it max just to give the models some money. So you go through, you look at great clothes, you get great faces, you practice, you do tear sheets, you put them on the wall. If I could show you, I'm in my conference room right now at the school, but I've got walls and walls and walls of tear sheets that these kids just see. And I'm a nut. Go to the bookstore, get zinc, get numeral, go Italian Vogue, do tear sheets. Look at great photographers. Look at, Paolo Roversi, from the 80s, the great stuff he did. You got to be addicted. And then you build a storyboard based on that. You get, first of all, great faces. You can use wigs. And then you hire a good photographer. You say, I'm going to do the most amazing hair, but I want you to work really inexpensively because I don't want to spend a lot of money, but I want to create something that's really beautiful, and you can be the beneficiary of that. And then you show him what that looks like. So you get some great books of great photographers. You say, I love this lighting here. This is what we're going for. And you build a story with a team. And makeup's the same way. You look at the makeup and you just have, you just know, you've defined what everything's going to look like. And then you shoot. And when we shoot for the students, I think I shoot 3 students every year and a couple of my staff. And sometimes I have to reshoot it. I'll go, the execution isn't there. You got to redo this. It's hard for me because then I have to come back. I have to get the lighting just like it was for the other 2, and they have to recreate that 3rd look again. So one of the things is just not settling for less. And I'm very militant about that. I mean, there's only one way to do it, and that's to do it the best way it can be done. The best of your ability.
Thank you. That was did that answer for you, Donna?
And Donna,
I want to congratulate you on what you did with Stormy. I remember seeing when she won.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, yeah. And then, of course, one of my favorites was Sherry Jesse, but she was already an editorial stylist. I guess where I'm going with my question is, I think there's training to become an editorial stylist through somebody like Crystal Wright. She has a great program. Yeah.
Write that down.
In terms of having a structured program that people can access, I mean, I think there's an opportunity, probably for you for sure, to create something that people that they can access. And here's how to become a NAHA stylist.
I think that's a great idea. I like what you're saying.
Many ideas.
Yeah, well, there's always plenty of ideas. I'm just saying.
$19.95 for this video, baby.
Yeah.
Well, my thing is I want to do everything for free because I'm a giver, like you, Oscar. But then my management.
I'm not free. That's why I haven't been to your school.
I love you, man.
I would do that in a heartbeat, brother.
It's a short drive, so we got to put that together.
We'll talk soon for that one.
Yeah.
Awesome. I see Tracy. You have your hand up again. Are you around, Tracy? Oh no, you're good. Okay. Anybody else as we wind up here in the next couple minutes? Christine, unmute yourself, darling.
Eric, where could we find, I have a bunch of materials from the past that you've had. I don't know if you have any new stuff out. Where would we go to find any of like the Eric Fisher stuff?
Most of my stuff now is just on myprosperu.com website. Okay. Isn't that right, Jess?
Yes. And it's the letter U. So myprosperu.com.
And I always, and Christine, you know this, but I always have an open invitation. Anybody wants to come hang out. We never charge anybody. We have events all the time. Check our Facebook page. And
you might regret that. You might regret that.
You are so cute. I would never regret it.
Eric, we also have another Aquage educator, Delia. Say hi.
Hey.
Hi, Eric.
Hi, honey.
Do you remember Delia?
Of course. How you doing, sweetheart?
Yeah, great. Hey, so would it be okay to go like shadow you at your salon maybe once a while?
Yeah, I mean, I'm only at the salon a couple days a week now because I'm so busy at the school and with Prosper U. And Liz tells me what to do. She makes my agenda. She rides me like a dog. Let me tell you. Yeah, we'd love to, and we're always an open book, and our summit is always a great event, and it's always, always free. Sometimes I think we charged $15 the last summit just for Beauty Changes Lives. We gave all the money to them, but we believe in giving back, so we love to have people here. And I'm out of town a lot still. I'm going to the school show this weekend, and I still travel with Aquage a lot, so. My schedule's pretty wacky, crazy. But anytime anybody's here, we love it. We've got Oscar Baum coming next week. We had Cole Thornton was here.
You got half the name right on that one, but maybe
What's that?
I said you got half the name right on that one for next week.
And we're going to have you, Oscar, real soon.
Hey, Larry got me. I'm going to Larry's in a few weeks.
I love Larry Curtis is the reason I'm in the beauty school business. And he's the one that said, man, you got to do this. You're a smart guy. You should be giving back to the students. And for me,
look what he sent me.
Oh, yeah, Mission Possible. I love that with Eric Fisher. Well, you know, he didn't
have
have
to put that one, brother.
That's so great. He did not have to put my name on that. He's such a great guy.
Yeah, I'm excited as hell to get over there to the school. They got me doing like 4 little vignette programs over a couple days with the students.
So cool.
Fired up to do my team building for him.
Well, you're the best, Oscar. Nobody does it better than you, man.
Nobody. Don't even go there.
Question in the chat of how far is Kansas from Buffalo? There is a Buffalo, Kansas, but I'm pretty sure that's not the one you meet.
Alyssa's coming from Canada, right above Buffalo.
Yeah, Buffalo, New York, I'm guessing is where you're referring to. We actually have a Prosper You school up there, the T-Spa Buffalo, but there's no direct flights into Wichita, Kansas, pretty much. So it would probably be a couple hours on the flight easily.
I have made the offer to Oscar, too, if he ever wants to use the school for anything, you know, we could do something fun, Oscar. And
I think we're about to have some serious talks, man.
Let's get you up here. I mean, Oklahoma is the next state over, so it's not that far.
I'm ready, brother.
And you know, the cool thing about Kansas, it's so flat that when you're driving through it, you can fall asleep, go off the road for a couple of hours, wake up. As long as you don't hit a cow, wake up, get back on the road, and you're good. You know?
I'll tell you what, man, with these freaking winds, I'm thinking if I get a tailwind, I could be there by lunch.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, my God. Well, Eric, man, I just want to say you've blessed us all. You know, I freak out sometimes. I told my dad this a while back that here it is 31 years since I got my license. My dad was, I'm second generation, 3 out of 4 kids. My dad didn't even start school until he was 38 and built his empire, retired on the beach over Mexico at 62 liquid. And many of the people, I remember the very first show my dad took me to was Tony and Guy, and it was with Anthony, Bruno, and it was James, and it was JP.
Yeah.
And I was there. I had just taken second place in a competition out of 50 salons in San Diego, and I was only 6 months out of school. And all these people that were like idols and mentors to me in the early days, some of them I got on speed dial now, and it freaks me out, and him too. And so I just want to say, Eric, we go way back to for a while. I know I met you through Lauren and through Inspiring Champions, but we've definitely evolved our own personal friendship. On all the holidays, you, Luis, Van, and Gino get my Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Labor Day. And then Luis started beating me to the punch for Christmas when he started hitting me from Europe last year or 2 years ago. So I just want to say thank you, man. I love you. I cherish our friendship. We are both givers. And everybody on this call, it's crazy. It may not last forever, but you guys might eat it up while you can. Christine, Terry, we're talking 24-hour access these guys get to me. I'm texting them at 1 o'clock in the morning, responding to crazy shit sometimes.
You are the man.
That's the heart that we have. I remember when I was listening to you early on, and you're talking about anybody that wants to come in for a free brain trim, and you give all these little things, which I believe make you stand out. That's your POD, your point of distinction, your point of difference. And for people that make that point to have a difference, I honor you, man. I just want you to know that.
You are too cool. I appreciate that. I think the world of you, and what an honor it's been for Jess and I to do this for you guys. And I know it's been hard trying to get the schedules together, but Oscar, thanks for having us, and we really appreciate it. And good luck to all the people that you're coaching. And again, we're an open door, and anybody wants to get to us, they can get through you or whatever. We're easy.
Awesome. So, whoa, you guys, there you are. Somebody got up and switched my screen. I think I added you guys to our private group, the S.M.A.R.T group. Jess, now that we're friends, I'll add you into that group. And if anybody has a follow-up question and they throw it in that group, maybe you can respond then.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Awesome. You guys, was Eric good today, everybody?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much, Jess. I can't wait to work with you more. And let's keep this thing going. This is my first launch of this series, the S.M.A.R.T series. This group goes through till June, and then I'm going to start a new group in July, and I'm going to be promoting and selling that at the premiere show. So hopefully we'll get some people that are my guests on this to enroll into that one, and I'm pretty sure everybody that's on here is going to re-enroll. But I'm looking to make a multiple of 3 or 4 times the audience we have right now. So maybe we'll be able to get you back on the next series as well, my man.
Sounds great. Love to do it.
Awesome. You guys
Thank
rock.
you for you.
God bless you all. Thank you guys so much. Have a great one. And we'll talk to you guys on our next call where Van's almost on the call, you guys. Van Council's coming up here, man.
I might have to get on that one.
Oh, you guys, we won't get any work done. We'll just be talking madness.
Well, I don't know if we'll be able to understand what he's saying. That's the.
Hey, I lived next to him for several years. He was like 1 street away from me. I know that boy's accent. All right, you guys, be well, be great. Don't be good, be great. Terry, what am I going to say right now? Unmute yourself. Watch this, Derek.
As my friend Oscar always says, go out there and happen to your day. Don't let your day happen to you.
Eric, really quickly. So you know my wall right here. These are my bricks that's part of my company. Breaking down.
What is it?
So these are 90 bricks. And my company's called Breaking Down Your Walls. This is how my company formed, was What Stops Us in Life. And it was our walls. From that dream was all these words on bricks that have now become my product over the years. This is the newest edition of Purple. I'm going to flip 3 bricks. They're going to have 3 words, definition, and a message on them, but I want you to create what we call a power sentence, and that's using all 3 words in a sentence. So you tell me where to draw from, Eric. This is left, middle, and right.
Second column to the left.
Okay? How far down?
Right there.
Okay?
Second one.
Next one.
Third column.
Where?
6 down.
3, 4, 5, 6. Next one.
The second one from the end.
Whoop. On the right end?
Yeah.
Okay, and then where?
Yeah, right in the middle.
Okay.
Right there.
All right. So there's no accidents, as everybody on this call will tell you, because everybody, I think just about everybody has their bricks on this call. So first word is open-minded. Second word is momentum. And the third word is reflective. And I'll read real quick the definition. So reflective says given to, marked by, or concerned with meditation or deliberation. And then we got a quote here. It says, in order to succeed, your desire for success must be greater than your fear of failure. Then we got momentum. And momentum says force or speed of movement, impetus as a physical object or course of events. And Arthur Ashe said, start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. And then open-minded says having or showing a mind receptive to new ideas or arguments, unprejudiced, unbigoted, impartial. And then Helen Keller said, when one door opens of happiness, when one door of happiness closes, another one opens. But often we look so long at the closed door that we do not see the door that has been opened for us.
That's heavy.
So open-minded, reflective, and momentum. And if you were to create, are those speaking to you in any way, those 3 words?
I always say be open-minded, be reflective, and create amazing momentum in your life.
I love it. I love it. So this is how my Breaking Down Your Walls works. This is a 3-foot by 4-foot magnetic board. I'm sending you a set, Eric, to take to the students at school as my appreciation for you.
That's a great, thank you, brother. That's great. They will love this.
Oh, I did this with the school that I did that mentorship program for a year, headmasters in Lewiston, Idaho for a year, a few years ago. And they would do this every morning after theory. Every student came and flicked their brick. Because this is about setting your intentions in the morning versus being reactive at the end of your day. So
I love it.
These are on the way, brother. I'll get the address from Jess as to where to send it here, and we'll get these in the mail.
You're the best.
I love you, man. God bless
Love
you guys.
brother.
I love your whole group, you guys. So
Cheers.
go out there, you guys, generate your momentum. Be open-minded to the education you received from Eric, but take some time to be reflective on what you learned and then apply it to your life. Boom! Hashtag power sentence.
Beautiful.
Thanks, everybody.
God bless. Love you. Take care.
Ciao.
Bye, y'all. Be great.